General Manager Mark Carvalho and the entire Sluggin Rebels team, we welcome you to Kleinstock Field and tonight's game between the Islanders and your Newton Sluggin Rebels. It's great having you all here with us tonight. Please welcome head coach Toby Muna.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Newton Sluggin Rebels baseball here tonight in Newton. Rebels back home to continue a three-game set with the Kingman Islanders. Scott Hogan, and coming along with me just shortly will be head coach Mark Carvalho as the Sluggin Rebels have taken the field. Going to get a little early start tonight due to impending weather that's off to our west, so we are getting ready to go as Zach Gillig will take the mound. The Rebels going to try to rebound from a 10-2 loss yesterday in Kingman. Of course, on Friday evening, we got rained out here and have no rescheduled date yet for the Batcats. So the Rebels are going to turn to Zach Gillig on the mound tonight. 36 and a third innings thrown for Zach. He's given up just 14 earned runs. He struck out 41 while just walking 13. Yes, he'll try to get things going, and we'll keep you up to date if and when weather starts to move in. As the coach, Mark Carvalho, joins me. Coach, good to have you along.
Hey.
See if the Rebels can bounce back from that loss last night.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting right now, and you got a really good pitcher on the mound that works quick, and especially it looks like some rain coming in. Zach Gillig's like it's that old Grizzly veteran we used to say. But he knows how to work fast. And we're getting right into the game today. A little early, folks, if you're planning on being here at 7 o'clock, but we want to get in before the rain.
Yeah, at least get 5 innings in to get an official game, as we're getting ready to go right at 6:50 with Ben Wallachek, the center fielder, will lead off, a .341 hitter. Wallachek with a home run and a double. He's driven in 11. And a fastball right down the middle for strike one.
And I was going to say it's probably affected his routine just a little bit. Again, him being a veteran pitcher.
And, of course, a pitching coach as the fastball popped up right side of the infield. Levi Martin in foul territory has it for out number one. And exactly the kind of start you wanted, a short at-bat, and you get out number one to bring up the shortstop. Gavin Roy comes in hitting .273 with a homer, 3 doubles. He's driven in 12. And already the head coach taking a look at the lineup with the home plate umpire. I'm not sure what that would be here early on in the ball game.
No, I don't understand unless wanted to make sure, on the lineup or something, just double check. But
so a fastball again. Gillig starts off Roy outside corner, strike one. Roy will be followed by the catcher, Ray Vanderwall, and then batting cleanup, first baseman Marcelo Aguirre. Line shot's going to get into left field as Roy was sitting on that pitch and drove it into left field. And the Islanders will get the early base runner.
Well, and that's one thing about Zach. He'll throw those fastballs, and that was right there, right down the middle. So, it was just a good job on him to do that.
Now he'll have to be aware, 14 of 18, Roy, in stolen bases, and a lot of coaches early on. Different philosophy from some coaches. Some coaches will play it safe, get that early runner, sometimes try to double down and get him to second. As Vanderwall steps in, he's hitting .342. First pitch fastball, good cut, fouled back for strike one.
Yeah, and right there, like I said, sometimes I always like to play aggressive early, kind of find out, kind of set a tone, just like in basketball or anything. Any sport, you want to set a tone right now, and that's what I think Kingman might be trying to do.
And that's certainly not Zach's best move, just kind of letting Roy. I'm keeping an eye on you over there. Again, Vanderwall has homered 3 times this year. He's driven in 15. There, looked like a breaking pitch. Fouled out of play right side for strike two. Of course, this is our first inning sponsored by CRM Lawn Care all season long. We'll tell you more about them here between our half innings. This is a 2-strike count on Vanderwall. 1 down. Gavin Roy at first. Fastball just down and away, and boy, Roy, I tell you, got an extra step off of there, but didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, too, with, of course, we're missing one of our main guys hitting, one of our shortstop. There, nice pick.
Yeah, you got a pickoff. You got Roy in the rundown, late toss over, and he will be tagged out by the shortstop, Chi Purcell. We saw him in his debut the other night. He actually pitched on the mound, so a pickoff, and you get your second out, and now a chance to face the minimum and get to the plate if you can get a 1-2 pitch by Vanderwall.
Yeah, and I was just talking about Jordy Lopez. He's done for the season. He went back to the Dominican.
Oh, that's a big loss.
Yeah. And that's something that we knew about when he first came here, and he had for a young man just out of high school, did a great job, went back to Dominican, and then he's going to go home, then he's going to go back to West Oklahoma. That's where he's at, West Oklahoma State. So.
Yep, D2 down in Oklahoma. Yeah. Well, he will certainly be missed. Was a player of a game, one of our games. Pulling the trigger there, but not getting the nod on the curveball, apparently missing inside, and the count goes full on Vanderwall. So you got Brian in left, Avila in center, and Levi Martin's out in right tonight. As the payoff will be low ball 4.
Yeah, that's something right there that Zach Gillig does not want to do. You do not want to throw a lot of balls right now. Just keep the pitch count down.
So that's a second base runner. You got Roy with a single, but got picked off. So they'll bring up Aguirre. A 250 hitter just looks like our stats showing just be his 4th game play. He does already have a homer, and he's knocked in 3. Just a real modest lead for Vanderwall at first. The fastball, apparently that lower part of the zone right now is not getting the nod. It's been a ball a couple, 3 times we've seen a pitch located there.
Yeah, but he has consistent strikes on it. He usually does. I've known Scott for a long time, umpire.
That's all you can ask. Right off the end of the bat foul, it's 1-1. The Rebel infield, Burrows at third, Purcell at short, Hinesley at second, Lewis at first, and Wardell behind the plate. So you've got a couple of your catchers, listed as catchers, out in different positions tonight. And here's a high shot to one of them. Levi Martin in right field makes the catch. That will retire Aguirre and the side. No runs on a hit and 1 left. So a scoreless game as we head on into the bottom half of the first. Again, first inning of play brought to you by CRM Lawn Care here in Newton. They mow, weed eat, and edge your lawn to perfection. Call CRM Lawn Care today, 316-282-2666. Again, the series will continue tomorrow as we'll move back to Kingman. And then right now it's a scheduled day off. I know we got the Cannons and the Batcats, a couple of games. Any word on makeup dates yet for those?
Not yet. And we also got to make a makeup game with Great Bend, because we missed that game the other day. So,
yes.
So we're still trying to figure out everything, but we'll keep, as soon as we find out, we'll let everybody know.
Sure. So, and then the next scheduled series to begin would be the Aviators in Hayesville on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday, both of those games against Hayesville scheduled to be here in Newton as we're rolling down the stretch run here in late August. A couple of of course, we all know about the NBC. There's also the SBS there in Goddard as our wind suddenly just picked up. Calm here in the visitors' half of the first, and now we've got this, looks like a south wind now picking up.
Just changed. I'm sure some of these guys that aren't from around here are going, wow, but that's Kansas. That's what you tell them. It could change. But obviously, like you saw earlier about the report about some rain coming in, and hopefully it holds off for a while.
Yeah, hopefully we can at least get 5-6 innings in. As on the mound, Scott Renuet, where the Islanders, the righty, has thrown just 8 2/3, giving up 5 earned runs. He struck out 15, and he has walked just 4. Antonio Avila, Justin Hinesley, Sue Hache going to be their first 3 batters here for the Sluggin Rebels. So we'll bring up some of the numbers. Antonio Avila gets the start in center field, comes in as a .265 hitter. He's got a home run. He's driven in 5. He's been really good on the base pass when he gets there. And up and in, he'll swing at a high fastball and miss for strike one.
Yeah, he showed that in the All-Star game when he stole home. The winning run for the squad there, he stole home.
And you can hear the wind. We got a crowd mic out there blowing out to left now. And breaking pitch stays up for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Hinesley batting second. He's the second baseman. And Suhache normally at second. He's going to be in the DH spot tonight. He's batting third with Levi Martin batting cleanup. And another fastball, and Avila swings right over top of it for strike two.
Took a pretty good cut right there.
It's 3:30, the wind blowing out to left. And a breaking pitch. It looked like maybe a slider there, a swing and a miss. Renuet's got the strikeout and out number one.
Yeah, that was a good pitch right there. It was up, too, but he had some good movement on it.
And normally that's when the pitcher doesn't want to hang those, but he got away with it. And it'll bring up Justice Hinesley playing second base tonight. And we'll look down and find Justice in his 8th game. He's been off to a great start, 357 average. Right now 5 out of 14 at the plate. Another well-placed fastball on the outside corner for strike one.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of that. He hasn't had as much time as some of the other guys, but he's definitely taking advantage of that with, a 357 average. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
See if you can get things started. Bases empty, 1 down. That fouled right off the end of the bat. Little blooper to the first base dugout for strike two. Again, batting 5th will be Easton Bryan. He's in left. Tate Lewis bats 6th. Playing first. Behind the plate and batting 7th is Drew Wardell. And Chichi Purcell, the shortstop, bats 8th. 2-strike pitch. Good pitch, just off the outer part.
That's an excellent pitch right there.
Coach will live with that pitch every time on 0-2. Been difficult to hit. And Austin Burrows rounds out our Sluggin Rebel batting lineup tonight. He is at third base. 1-2, and change of pace there. Went with a slow breaking pitch for back-to-back strikeouts.
And I think that's been the big problem with the Rebels this summer is just putting the ball in play on a consistent basis. 2-strike hitting. Coach Toy and I have talked about it. Still take some big cuts or, in that situation, just looking at strike 3, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to swing with 2 strikes.
So it'll bring Suhache, the DH. 310 hitter. And a little chopper right back to the mound. This is going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning as Renuet over to first. And that will retire the side in order. So that was our CRM Lawn Care first inning of play. No score with the Rebels and the Islanders. We'll take a quick break. Back with the second inning as this is Sluggin Rebels baseball. Top of the second inning, no score. The Rebels and the Islanders. Nolan Friend, the right fielder, will lead off. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Friend, of course, he was a Kingman High School product, very good multi-sport athlete. So playing for the hometown team, hitting .220 coming in, a homer. He's driven in 7, and that was a good pitch right on the outer part of the plate. Strike 2 to Friend. So it's Nolan Friend, Jesus Cruz, and Brendan Macbeth. And Gillig, a quick 3-pitch strikeout on the swing and a miss. He's recorded his first strikeout, did walk one in the first. And it'll bring up Jesus Cruz again. Strikeout sponsored by Mark Fox, your local JP Wygand realtor, focused on bringing you home. Saw Coach Fox was here at the game on last Wednesday. Was in attendance as Cruz takes outside ball one. Was a very good coach here at Bethel for the women's basketball program for a number of years.
Very well known, respected.
And then a fastball swing and a miss by Cruz. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I've known him for many years, and he's always been always helpful. Always helpful, and that's what he's done with the. Whoa, that's a little close.
It was a check swing, and I think that might have hit the barrel.
Did it get it?
Bottom of the bat. The umpire signaled a strike, so it is strike two. Cruz is a good season, 293 average. He's got 14 runs batted in. Grounder right at Purcell. We'll backhand it over to first for out number two. So 2 up, 2 down for the DH, Brendan Macbeth. Macbeth, a 217 hitter coming in. He's driven in 6 runs in our second inning. This is our Armor Coatings of Wichita second inning. And Gillig, and that's great location for that fastball above the belt. And if you go after it, you got to be right on it. And Macbeth was a little behind for strike one. And misses just down with that same fastball. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that's the thing about Gillig. When he's on, he is just so hard. He's one of the toughest pitchers to face. That's why he's been an all-star pretty much every year since he's been here.
And he went right back to that fastball about knee-high, just off the outer part of the plate with the swing and the miss. And a chance at a 1-2-3 inning. And he's got it. Perfect fastball, called strike 3. So Gillig, after allowing a hit and a walk in the first inning, strikes out 2 of the 3 batters he faces here in the second to put the Islanders down in order. Again, our second inning of play brought to you all season long by Armor Coatings of Wichita, local leaders in industrial and commercial roofing and insulation products. Armor makes buildings better. Visit armorcoatingswichita.com or call 316-755-9100 today. So again, our conditions right now, we were calm in the first half inning. Now we got a pretty steady 15-20 mile-an-hour plus wind blowing out to left.
Yeah, look at that flag out there. I don't know if you can see it on our video here, our camera, but, man, it is blowing out straight left field. Anything up in the air, it's going to carry.
In our overcast skies, and hopefully we can keep the overcast as long as possible. I know I live back over by Little River. There was some pretty good storms west of there back in around the 6 o'clock range. All that's supposed to move this way. Last I looked, and I got busy, I haven't looked recently, it said after 8 o'clock tonight, so we're hoping to get as much as we can done here. Is already 2 games yet to reschedule.
We got our guy Craig Ney over here. He's kind of our weather guy, keeps an eye on it. He's been keeping up on it.
He's doing scoreboard and a PA tonight.
Yeah, we're missing a couple people, and it's been tough, especially, Mr. Jim and Heidi and Zoe. It makes a difference here.
The right fielder, number 27, Levi Martin.
So Levi Martin will lead off for the Sluggin Rebels. And that time, good movement right at the last. That ball dove, but it was a called strike 1. We'll get you Levi's numbers here in a moment.
It's like a good little pitcher's duel starting out here.
Levi comes in hitting 241, and that one right off the end of the bat, a soft little liner to Jesus Cruz, who's got it for out number 1. Again, Levi, one of those catchers that's going into fielding work. 7 runs batted in. Now it'll be the left fielder, Easton Bryant. He's been moving around a lot recently. Typically would play first. He was in right the other night. Gets the start in left.
Well, and for a big guy, he's pretty fast. I mean, we've seen that earlier in the year, too. It's laying out some doubles.
Bryant with a homer. He's driven in 5. Right now hitting 180. He'll take, looks like a little down for ball 1. We've talked about him a little bit. It just feels like here in the middle of the season, you're kind of waiting on that breakout from him to string together some multi-hit games. It feels like it's coming. It's a good eye. He'll take low again. It's 2-0.
Yeah, I talked to him. He says, yeah, he's been working hard. I actually worked with him some, and some of the things, what is bottom half, but he's working on it. And I think, like you said, when it comes together, watch out.
A 2-0 pitch. And beautiful piece of hitting down and away. He just drives it into left field. Little oppo single for Easton Bryant. The first hit of the ball game for the Sluggin Rebels. And Bryant does have one stolen base, as now it'll bring to the plate Tate Lewis, first baseman tonight. Again, he was one of our players of the game earlier in the season. 238 hitter. He's driven in 8. And all our base hits sponsored by Armor Coatings of Wichita Incorporated. We have you covered.
And he's a, I was going to say he's a not roommate, but he's a teammate of Easton. They're from Chandler Gilbert right here, so it's kind of neat back-to-back teammates.
It is pretty good, as Lewis was that curveball almost kind of the back door, but on the inner part of the plate. Bryant on a little hit and run. This one popped up down the right field line. It's going to get, well, Wynn kept it in play, but Aguirre couldn't catch up with it. So Coach Toya, little hit and run, and now it's an 0-2 count. Had the lights on since we got here. I mean, we haven't, the sun, I'm not minding the sun not being out.
Right, no, it's actually one of the cooler days.
It's been some very, very warm days with the humidity and everything. Is a 2-strike, and he really fooled him there with a curveball, and that'll be strikeout number 3 for Renuet. And out number 2 of the home half of the second to bring up the catcher, Drew Wardell. And Drew, through 11 games, at least that's been statted through 11 games, hitting .360. He's 9 out of 25, 3 doubles. He's also driven in 3, and he's just getting better and better as the season moves along. With the Rebels setting at 10-16 overall, 8-16 in conference play. And then Bryant again going to run and a throw wide of the bag to the second base side. And Easton Bryant in there with his second stolen base of the season. And again, it looked like another hit and run as Wardell swung to kind of protect him.
Yeah, and you can see right there his speed that we just talked about. For a big guy, he can run.
An on-target throw would have been a very close play at second. Let's see if Wardell can advance him home. 1-strike pitch. We got a fastball about belt high and fouls it off for strike number 2 in that long fall ball, sponsored by Central National Bank of Newton. Money for life, member FDIC. It's the Islanders and Rebels in the bottom of the second are scoreless. Two-strike pitch to Wardell, and good movement. Fastball tailing down and in, and a swing and a miss. Renuet with his 4th strikeout will retire the side, so the Rebels get their first hit of the ball game and strand a runner in scoring position. Again, that's our second inning of play, sponsored by Armor Coatings of Wichita Incorporated, local leaders in industrial and commercial roofing and insulation products. Armor makes buildings better. Visit armorcoatingswichita.com or call 316-755-9100 today. Coach Carve here, most know, is going to be back in the dugouts this next spring. You've been doing a lot of recruiting, and then, of course, we got a change and going to have a new commissioner for the KCAC. Is Scott Crawford going to be the new commissioner up at the Frontier Conference now? Just accepted that position.
Yeah, it's just what I heard, and I know Scott, geez, so many years and all that.
Fantastic for the conference. The way it has grown in the last 16 years from 10 to 14 teams, and you look at the expansion with Southwestern adding baseball, 13 of the 14 teams now with baseball, the sports that have been added, women's wrestling, lacrosse, esports. I mean, it's been amazing what he accomplished. So I'm very anxious to see what direction the conference goes for a new commissioner, because we're in a good spot right now.
I mean, you just look at the last 10, 20 years. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Of course, I've been in the KCAC for a long time as an assistant coach. I mean, back, I don't even want to tell you how long ago, but it's been a long time. I mean, back when I was the first coach at Friends down there and I was a coach down there, we didn't even have a KCAC baseball tournament. And we started doing that and built from there. And like you said, now you got 14 teams and 13 of course that play baseball, but it's missed all the other leagues, like you're talking about football, wrestling. I mean, I never would imagine that.
Yeah, it is. It's been amazing. As the top of the third begins, a shot down the right field line by Blake Russell, but hustling to his left, Levi Martin. When that left the bat, I think there the wind helped him a little bit, pushed it towards him a little bit, and Martin makes a nice play.
And Levi played it just right. He just drop step went right there. He knew it was coming back at him.
Yep, and 1 pitch, 1 out. And we'll get to Russell. His numbers next time is now going to be Jordan Helm, the third baseman. And nice pitch there by Gillig, strike one. A 135 hitter is Helm. He's driven in 3. This is your 8, 9, and 1 spots in the lineup. And a pop-up right side out into shallow right field will travel Justice Hinesley. Nice catch made by Justice for out number 2. And Gillig, I tell you, picking up the pace, throwing strikes. Right now is allowed just a couple of base runners. And back to the top of the lineup to Ben Wallachek. He popped out in foul territory to the first baseman, Tate Lewis, first time around.
I was going to say, I'm pretty impressed with Hinesley being a catcher, because he's not used to that. He took control of that fly ball.
Nice, hard breaking pitch, strike one to Wallachek. And 375, the power alleys. It's a big shot, 390 to straightaway center. And now another chance, nice high hop for Hinesley. Tosses the first in that. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3. That's a 5-pitch inning.
Yeah, you got
for Zach Gillig, and you get 3 outs.
He loves that.
Well, I tell you, and a coach will love that. It keeps his pitch count down. And we'll move on to the home half of the third. No score with the Islanders and the Rebels. Returning to the mound will be Scott Renuet. In the interesting, we go back to the KCAC. I think we said it last time we worked here together. The only team that doesn't have baseball is the town we're in, which is always surprised me.
Oh, believe me, I've talked to him plenty of times. I talked to the president. It's just something that they.
Here would be a perfect place for him.
He's actually come out and thrown the first pitch on Bethel days, and it's just one of those things. They just rather not deal with baseball. I can't really say too much about it, but the thing is that I think every league, every team, especially in college, a small college should have baseball. You can probably bring in at least 40 kids, and which helps the enrollment. But there's some that just don't have it.
Well, and of course the school you're at, I'm trying to think now how many years. I remember back when Southwestern added. I want to say that's been about 6 years ago now.
About 6 years.
When they added, and I tell you what, they had some early success. I think they got into the tournament.
Right.
I think just their second or third year, they were in the KCAC postseason tournament. So we'll expect to see them back there here pretty soon too.
I thought Coach Brady was the head coach, started off the program and did a great job. I mean, it was on the rise.
So Chi Purcell, the shortstop, will lead off. And a fastball in there for strike one. Purcell, again, one of the newcomers. I'm trying to look through here. I don't know if he's had an at-bat yet. At least one's not showing up. And there's a chopper right side. Cruz, great range to his left. Will make a nice play to get Purcell.
Cruz does a great job. We've seen him. He's been a nemesis on our side for the last couple of years.
And that, when it went off the bat, I thought that might sneak into right field. But again, Cruz showed great range, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Austin Burrows. Right now he is had a tough time at the plate, 2 for 22, does have a run batted in. Might be a good place. Maybe think about just set down a bunt here early in the at-bat. He'll take a swing and a miss on a fastball, strike one. And just like the Islanders, this will be the 8, 9, and 1 spots in the lineup coming up for the Islanders, or excuse me, for the Rebels. So Avila will bat next. And another fastball swing and a miss for strike 2.
Yeah, Austin right there. He needs to shorten up his swing. This little's getting a little long, but I mean, he's a good hitter. He's proved that. Proved that at KCK.
So a 2-strike count, bases empty. 1 down. Oh, and he gets the call there. I thought that might be just off the plate, but that'll be strikeout number 5 for Renuet. And a quick couple of outs for Renuet on 5 pitches, and it'll be up to the top to Antonio Avila.
So Renuet, he's definitely spotting up well, isn't he?
He's
in his spots.
Renuet is, I tell you, the catcher puts his mitt, and he has been pounding it so far. Boy, and Avila, big swing and a miss, that fastball. And like you said, I think right now the Rebels, if they would shorten their swings up just a little bit, get a little contact, see if you can get some base runners, and you'll see better pitches. You'll start getting ahead in the counts. And Avila hits one well to center field, but a lot of room out there for Wallachek. And he'll make the catch. And I tell you, it was a quick 3rd inning here in Newton, as both teams go quickly in order. So we're through 3 complete here in Newton. The Islanders and the Rebels, they are scoreless. There's lights on again. We take a quick check and see what we've got. Anything showing up on our radar. We're hoping, again, started about 10 minutes early. I think great call. Everybody was ready. Umpires were ready.
Yeah,
I was actually ready. That's surprising.
I actually called the umpires and asked. I said, hey, can you guys start a little early? And they're, of course, yeah, we'll do that. You know, just need to get their gear on and get ready to go. And, I mean, they weren't even here 5 minutes. So I was pretty impressed with them getting this going. And I'm telling you, Scott, having a pitcher – we're fortunate to have Zach Gillig on the mound because, like I said, with his experience, dealing with the weather, dealing with the wind, think how many games that guy's pitched in this kind of conditions compared to, let's say, a guy that's a freshman or a guy that's not from this area. So I think having him there, he works fast, and when he has this assortment of pitches going, he's tough to hit.
As it looks like the heavier of the activity in the area is going to go off to our west. There's a chance maybe still some showers, so we might actually catch a break.
We could use one.
Yeah, we could.
We can use one right now.
So Gavin Roy, Ray Vanderwall, Marcelo Aguirre coming up for the Islanders. And Gillig, yeah, he knew that one. That breaking pitch got away from him, well up for ball 1. Roy right now has the lone hit for the Islanders. That was a 1-out single back in the first. And another good hard breaking pitch, but misses outside. 2 balls. No strikes, and you look back through the lineup, that is a rare time that Gillig has fallen behind a batter. And he comes back, induces a foul ball off right side. It looked like maybe the slider there. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, when he has his 3, he has actually like 4 pitches, and he has them working at least 3 of them. He's tough to hit.
And that fastball tailed up and in. It's 3-1 to Gavin Roy. The only other batter that was up in the count was Vanderwall. He worked the count full back in the first. That's going to be walk number 2 as Gillig misses inside for ball 4. So the leadoff man aboard here in the inning to start for the Islanders. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Vanderwall. He was the other walk back in the first. As I wanted to bring up the other games tonight, it was a fairly busy night on the schedule. See if anything showing up as throw over to first. Hayesville at Hutch. Kansas Cannons at the Wellington Heat, and the Batcats are in Derby. And I'll bring you the one score here in a moment. As the fastball to Vanderwall in there, strike one. The only game showing up right now with a score is the Batcats and the Twins in the second. They are scoreless. I know the Monarchs and the Aviators had a early delay in their ball game due to rain falling.
Yeah, and with us starting early, but I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Some tough matchups right there.
And the Wellington Heat and the Kansas Cannons is a good jump, and there is a slow roller foul down the third baseline for strike two as Roy was on the move. I think the Heat, I think they're still playing in the KCB.
Yeah,
they would be a great addition to the now the former Sunflower, now Jayhawk Collegiate, an eighth team. I think that'd be a great addition if Wellington would be willing to move over. As a curveball just outside. Again, Gillig kind of hopping up and down. He didn't want it that far off the outer part of the plate. As he'll toss again to first.
He knows they want to run right here. They're trying to get something going. I mean, right now, 0-0.
I would not be surprised to see them start Roy again in the at-bat. Oh, and almost had him leaning the wrong way that time. And if that throw was a little bit more to the fair side of first base, that might have been a close call at first.
Well,
and they got him picked off. He just puts his head down. They'll throw down to Purcell, and they, for the second time in the ball game, have picked off Gavin Roy.
Yeah, like I said, he felt it. That's experience right there. Just the timing of it, quick feet. I mean, like you were talking about, he doesn't throw some hard over there, and all of a sudden, boom, just right there, just quick feet, pick.
Such a valuable asset there where you can eliminate a base runner like that. That was a great 1-2 pitch from Gillig. Misses just low. So it's 2-2 with now the base is empty and one down. Now breaking pitch, they appeal down the first, and they'll say Vanderwall checked up. So it's 3-2. Marcelo Aguirre is due up next for the Islanders. A scoreless game in the top half of the fourth. And the breaking pitch misses low, so the inning actually starts with back-to-back walks. But still just one aboard due to the pickoff. And I'll bring up Aguirre. He flew out to right field to end the first inning.
Yeah, usually, like I said, Zach, right now, this year, it's probably the most walks I've seen from him in the last 2 or 3 years.
So he'll come back to the fastball to Aguirre, outer part of the plate, strike one.
And he might be pitching different, trying different stuff. He's definitely mixing it up more than I've seen him.
And also the pitching coach here for the Rebels as well. And now it's going to be a wild pitch that will get your runner into scoring position. That one down and away and hit and looked like it caromed right off of the heel of the glove of Wardell.
Yeah, there's no way he was going to get that one.
Almost looks like they got crossed up on the pitch there because Wardell didn't have a chance really to slide over and block that like he wanted to. 1-1 to Aguirre, right off his foot.
But you got to look at when Zach Gillig has his stuff going, he has it going that day, he's tough to control. I mean, he's tough to catch, because he has so much movement.
He certainly is. I always love to hear the stories of guys who will catch knuckleballers. Yeah. Those are just flat hilarious.
But his movement's unbelievable. I've seen him, stood behind there, watched him through years.
So the count stays 1-2. And nice location. He'll get the call, fastball in the outside corner. And Gillig's got his third strikeout. More importantly, he gets the second out of the inning.
See, and that's what he does. He hits those corners. He moves in, and he's not afraid to go inside, too, if you notice. He will go inside, and he's learned that a few years ago. And like I said, when he hits his spots, he's hard to hit.
And that's strikeout sponsored by Mark Fox, your local J.P. Wygant realtor. His first pitch swinging, Nolan Friend fouls it out of play right side for strike one. Friend led off the second inning. He's one of the 3 strikeouts for Zach Gillig. Time pitch stays outside, maybe down a little bit as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Each team with 1 hit. And it's been a pitcher's duel thus far. And then went back, I think fooled him with the fastball. I don't think Friend was looking at that, and he was behind the pitch.
He was way behind that. He stepped out big time, too.
So it's a 1-2 count. Now setting out with that outside target. And the fastball goes right by the glove of Wardell.
Yeah, now Wardell right there, that was a pitch. It was a straight fastball. He just missed that. I don't know if he just took his eyes off of that. Wasn't expecting it.
So that would probably be a pass ball, and that works the runner Vanderwall down to third. So now any kind of a wild pitch or pass ball again. There are 2 down, so a ground ball to a fielder won't get it done. And that should end the inning. Slow roller and nice in-between hop. Lewis scoops it up and jogs over to first. And that does retire the side. So Gillig keeps the game scoreless. Does walk a pair, but strands 1. As we remain scoreless heading on to the bottom half of the 4th inning. With the Rebels getting ready to send up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their lineup. Again, we'll go ahead and take a look at, let you know again the upcoming schedule. Again, we don't have any information yet on the 2 makeup games, one with the Cannons or the Batcats. I guess there might be a chance. Would we have a chance of that? I know that Cannons game that we didn't get played was in Augusta, but
right.
We played the doubleheader that was supposed to be here in Augusta. Would that be a possibility of that being here then?
No. Well, we played the 2 games. We played a doubleheader there.
Yeah.
We did play that.
And they were both supposed to be here.
Right.
So I was wondering if that game then might have a chance of being moved here, since the other 2 were supposed to be here and were played in Augusta.
No, I think right now it's just that we're looking toward, we're trying to figure out what just the Great Bend game. But no, I haven't had any conversations with, the Cannons and what we're going to do on that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on right there. They haven't. Yeah, that's what the GMs usually talk about. That.
Yeah.
Get together and talk. So I have no idea what they want to do or what we're going to do.
So those are the 2. Again, when we have that information, we'll bring it to you. Again, this series goes back to Kingman tomorrow, and then the Hayesville series begins on Wednesday in Hayesville, and then here on Thursday and Friday for the Aviators.
That's always a tough matchup. We've had some great games against those guys. So you get a chance, come on out to the ballpark.
And we've had these weather delays have been so unfortunate. A couple of special, we had the Summer Dollar Days evening. We had the Military Appreciation Night washed out twice.
And Scott, there's nothing we can even do about it. That's the thing. I'm just shaking my head. We're all excited. Tim Marler.
Yes, I know. That was going to be a fantastic evening.
Yeah, Sand Creek was a big deal. And
so Justice Hinesley steps in, and he hits one high in the air to left center field. Over from left field, Russell will make the catch. When I first got it more out on the end of the bat there, I thought it had a chance for the gap.
And if you look at the wind, it's not blown as much now, so it's kind of changed. That's one thing about Kansas. I always tell outfielders, I've always said this, and I'll say it this spring with my guys, take a look at the flag real quick, just a little brief, because it could change.
Absolutely. So now it'll be Sue Hache, the DH. And he pulls one, but foul down the first baseline, and his first base coach hitting the deck. Suche, he grounded out right back to the pitcher Renuet back in the first inning.
I think that's his brother coaching first, too. I mean, that's Hinesley. His brother coaches first now, Justin Hinesley.
Is there a good tailing away fastball? Renuet gets the call on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Renuet been efficient. 5 strikeouts, no walks, has allowed just 1 hit. And got Hache just a wave at that down and away fastball for his 6th strikeout.
The right fielder, number 27,
Hache was,
yeah,
you could tell he was unhappy with that at bat.
I guess he went down swinging right after the fact.
Yeah, Levi Martin now with the bases empty and 2 away steps in. He popped out to the second baseman, Cruz, back leading off the 2nd inning. And got jammed a little bit, popped up. Is there going to be room for a play? That is just going to get out of play.
Good hustle there.
Gire gave a look, but just ran out of real estate, and it's 0-1. If anybody reaches, it would then be Easton Bryan. He's got the lone hit right now for the Rebels. Outfield been playing, I'd call it about 3/4 depth. Really, both teams have been playing about that way, pretty much straight up as well. Oh, curveball in there, strike 2.
Yeah, that's something you got to pick up right out of his hand. I think guys are just waiting too late on it, and then you got to take it the right field. Take it, right-handed hitters, take it that way.
Renuet, Cloud County Thunderbird for his collegiate career right now. Went back to that raking pitch, but it stayed up for ball 1.
I saw his coach out there, talked to him, Coach Gillen. He's Cloud County. He's in the stands watching.
Good program out there.
Oh, yeah, he's done a great job.
And the fastball misses for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So enjoy getting to do the Region 6 tournament each year down in, well, this year was in Wichita. I think the early word is that's where it'll be again next year. But I tell you what, you talk about fantastic baseball.
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
wow,
yeah.
that Region 6 is something else.
Every team.
2-2 pitch. Oh, and really chased one. Did he catch it? They're going to say yes. They don't have to. I think they did anyhow. Throw down the first. And that's strikeout number 7 for Scott Renuet. As for the 2nd time in order and the 3rd time in the game, the Rebels go in order. So we're through 4 complete here in Newton. No score between the Rebels and the Islanders. And we'll take a quick break and be back with more Sluggin' Rebels baseball. Top half of the 5th inning, no score with the Rebels and the Islanders. The second baseman, Jesus Cruz, leads off. And he will take outside for ball 1. Cruz grounded out to a shortstop. His first at bat. And the 1-0 fastball in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's Jesus Cruz, Brendan Macbeth, and Blake Russell. And the fastball, good movement again, tails right over the outside corner to the lefty for strike 2. Tried to hard, it looked like slider there and just misses outside. Brings it to a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Gillig so far, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, has allowed just the 1 hit. And he gets a little pop-up into shallow left center field, and that is going to find the dead zone out there and fall in for a leadoff single. So the second hit of the ball game, again, kind of that's what I call the old seeing eye single. And that will bring to the plate the DH, Brendan Macbeth, who struck out to end the first, and a hot shot right up the middle is going to get into center field. Hit right on the mound, right beside Zach Gillig. And all of a sudden, back-to-back singles, and the Islanders in business.
Yeah, it's like they're jumping on that fastball right there because he's trying to get ahead. And like I said, this is the third time around, whatever.
Yeah, it'll be these guys getting their second at bat.
Yeah, so second time around, third time, you're going to start making adjustments.
And the Islanders, well, they put down the bunt. The Rebels creeping the corners in. Pickoff attempt, sliding back in is Cruz at second. So Gillig right here, he would love to get a little pop-up or something. And we'll see the first pitch, see if the Islanders are thinking sacrifice. As Gillig again fakes out to second.
And this one thing, too, that right now, just trying to figure out the chemistry, the timing. He's been used to Jerdy at shortstop. Now he's got, Chi-Chi out there, so we'll see what happens here.
So we're still waiting. The first pitch going to, wow, it was a late square and takes the breaking pitch low for ball 1. So Blake Russell again, he flew out to the right fielder Martin back in the third inning, leading off the inning. So I wonder if Gillig, they'll try to come maybe a little bit up and in and see if they could jam him, get him to pop it up. He's going to swing away again, and it looked like maybe Gillig went to a changeup down in the dirt. It's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. This is really by far the best-looking scoring threat for either team so far. This one lined, but it'll go foul down the right field line.
This is where the experience of Gillig needs to step up right here. I mean, he's been there. He's always had guys on base, and he gotten out of jams. So he's got to figure it out here.
And now it's a 2-1 count. I think Gillig shook off one sign. He's got a pitch he wants to throw here, and now the bunt is shown. And it's a good one. Down the third base line, Burrow's only play is first, and that was nicely executed there by Blake Russell. Sacrifices the first out, but does move Cruz to third, Macbeth to second.
Yeah, it's great execution. A game like this, that's huge.
And you got a pitcher's duel. A couple teams that have struggled to get those consistent base hits. This is a huge batter in Jordan Helm. Helm popped up to the second baseman in his first at-bat as Gillig misses inside ball 1. And right now, Coach Toya going to keep the infield back. So you think a ground ball not sharply hit could make this 1-0. And you get a little pop-up. Can anybody get to it? Levi Martin makes the catch. He'll come home, and that was just a bluff at third. And a good throw. So exactly what you needed. You got a shallow pop-out. And it was even better for Levi Martin. He had his momentum already going forward.
Yeah, coming in right there. Didn't have to, wasn't going back or anything like that. Everything's coming forward towards the infield right there. You got everything. It was a good, strong throw.
So now you have your biggest batter of the game. And Ben Wallachek in the top of the lineup. He has popped out to first and grounded out to second.
Oh.
Showed bunt. Oh, and off the glove, but Wardell able to, well, eventually he's going to corral it back.
Yeah, Wardell's got to focus on, especially that outside fastball. don't know if he's not seeing it real well right there because it's second, third time right there.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want is a pass ball or something here to get the Islanders on the scoreboard. Second and third, 2 down, top of the 5th, and it's a scoreless ball game. 1-0, good pitch, pounded the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'd like to see this experience right here. Get him out of this jam.
And that time the fastball is down for ball 2. And this is our Realty Connections of Newton 5th inning of play. We'll tell you about them here in a moment. Down and away fastball, got him to chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think if Wallachek holds off on that one, he's got a 3-1 pitch coming, but
they come in. I mean, it looked like it was right there. Had that break.
2-2 Gillig, and again off the glove of Wardell, but it doesn't get far enough away.
That's where you got to be a wall. That saying you always say, talk to catchers, be a wall.
So Wardell, got 5 to 8 feet away, but couldn't risk sending the runner. And now it's a 3-2 pitch. First base is open, but Gavin Roy is singled and walked tonight. As time was called at the plate, looked like Wallachek maybe something in his eye. So he'll settle back in. And Gillig ready with the payoff. Ground ball towards the hole and going to get into center field. 1 run is in, 2nd run heading home. And it's 2-0 Islanders as Wallachek delivers a 2-out, 2 RBI single.
Yeah, you almost got out of that right there. And you got the ground ball just right up the middle, though, just out of the reach of Hinesley.
So now it is Roy. We mentioned singled in the 1st, walked in the 4th. You know, he hits a line drive in the right, and Levi Martin misjudged it. It's going to get over his head. This may score. Wallachek running on contact. He will score, and on his way to 3rd with an RBI triple is Gavin Roy to make it 3-0 Kingman. And that is 4 hits in the inning. The Islanders came in with just 1 hit in the ball game, but now really starting to see the ball well. Got 3 singles and a triple.
Yeah, they're just going with the pitch right there. That's all that's just good hitting. Just going with the pitch. They know he's probably coming in with that fastball.
And then Martin there, he went to his right, and that was a case where he needed to make that first step back,
right,
and he just kind of got caught. Now a big swing and a foul ball straight back by Vanderwall for strike 1.
The competitor that Gillig is, I'm sure he's very frustrated right now.
Good curveball swing and a miss for strike 2. And it's 0-2. And that long foul ball sponsored by Central National Bank of Newton, Money for Life member FDIC. Fastball comes inside and misses to Vanderwall. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So now if you're Gillig, you got to try to strand that runner at 3rd. You got a long ways to go here. Just in the top of the 5th.
There. See, now he did a good job there. Wardell, see how he moved his feet and got right over there and stopped that. That's what you got to do.
And now a 2-2 count. And a breaking pitch that was chopped. It looked like right in the batter's box. And the count will stay at 2-2. Vanderwall is the 7th batter of the inning. By far the longest inning for either team at the plate.
This baseball, though, everything's going real smooth, and all of a sudden, wow, you know, this.
Absolutely. As that misses outside, and the count will go full.
Now, the thing is, we got to have the Rebel, Sluggin Rebel guys, the hitters need to adjust.
Oh, and there, good curveball, a swing and a miss for the strikeout to end the inning. That strikeout sponsored by Mark Fox, your local J.P. Wygand realtor, focused on bringing you home. But that was a big inning. 3 runs score for the Islanders on 4 hits and 1 left. Again, our 5th inning of play brought to you by Realty Connections here in Newton, connecting people with places. Call 316-283-6607 for your South Central Kansas real estate needs. Coming up for the Newton Rebels will be Easton Bryant, Tate Lewis, and Drew Wardell. They got to find a way. They've just had 1 hit and 1 base runner to try to get the pitch count, which is still excellent. Just 58 pitches right now for Renuet. You got to find a way to get into the Islander bullpen and get Renuet in a little bit of trouble.
Well, it's just like we talked about. Islanders made some adjustments, second time around. They're getting into third time around. And they made some adjustments, and they started figuring out that Gill is going to throw you that fastball, and you don't want to fight it. You just want to go with the pitch. And it wasn't like they tried to overpower it. Those are little base hits or whatever through the infield, just nice little hits. And I think it's the same thing with Sluggin Rebels. They need to do this adjustment because he'll be throwing going to throw you fastballs. It's just that when he gets ahead in the count, that's when he throws his off speed. So we'll see what happens, what they do right here.
And Renuet at times has been overpowering. The Rebels have had trouble catching up with his fastball, and he's placed the breaking pitch so well and kept him off balance and when he's going to throw it. So hopefully Rebels can get things going here.
And it could be simple. You brought it up earlier, just like a little bunt or something like that. Just get something going where it's tough. I tell everybody the first day when they're here, I told them that this grass here on the field here, it's different than anybody else. It's just going to die. You just push it out there, especially you have a third baseman playing way back. Push it out there, and it's usually a base hit. And then sometimes they throw it way deep in that, and it's a lot of area out there by that bullpen.
So it always amazed me with the shift, until it was banned, of course, in the major leagues, that there'd be nobody on the left side of the infield except somebody over where a shortstop would play, and guys still wouldn't just slap a little bunt down. It would have been an easy base hit, but as Easton Bryant, he's got the lone base hit. And he has another one, I think. He's going to hit one into right center field. It's going to fall in front of Wallachek. So Easton Bryant singled in the second and stole a base as a leadoff single in the bottom half of the 5th.
You tell he's seeing the ball real well right now. He's got both hits.
That'll bring up Tate Lewis, first baseman.
But what did he do right there? He jumped on that fastball.
Yep.
That's
seeing, not only his at-bat, but the other at-bats, and a little fastball heavy on that first pitch. And
but see, Tate right there, that's a good fastball, but you got to take it to the right side. Try to hit that gap in that 375 right center.
As Lewis, his first go-around, struck out in the second. There's another fastball. That one fouled out of play.
And that might be it with Renuet with a three-run lead right now. He's going to come right after you.
So he's got an 0-2 count on Tate Lewis. Drew Wardell will bat next. Ooh, and Bryant, really close play. He was leaning the wrong way. I think Aguirre thought they had him. I do believe he got back, but just barely.
Now he's got to be careful with the 3 runs down now. So we need every base runner we can.
The Twins and the Batcats in the bottom of the 3rd, they are scoreless in Derby. And a chopper up the middle, could be 2. Cruz steps on the bag, throws the first, and that will be the 4 unassisted 2-3 double play to wipe out your leadoff single. And now there are 2 down for Drew Wardell. He also was a strikeout victim back in the second. And also tonight, the Monarchs and the Aviators, we know they were in an early delay. They are underway, top of the second. They are scoreless. Breaking pitch down and away from Wardell for ball one.
So he laid off with a breaking pitch right here. So be ready for the fastball.
And just using the stretch. We see a lot of pitchers do that anymore. It's Renuet and a chopper foul to the third base dugout on the count 1-1. They see, you're seeing it more and more, I think, with starting pitchers, even at the collegiate level, not utilizing a windup, just using the stretch.
You got to look at it, Scott. 60%, 70% of the time you can have runners on. It's only off the windup.
So that's, I think, more and more pitchers just getting used to that, as that was a good breaking pitch inside corner, strike 2 to Wardell.
And that's been a lot of philosophy, especially some pitching coaches might as well go off the stretch.
And a 2-strike pitch, grounder, foul of third.
Now, usually in a stretch, you don't throw as hard as you do in a windup. You use 2-3 miles an hour maybe, but like I said, with him, he has such good control. What he's doing right there, I wouldn't change him at all.
Oh, no.
No, he's doing a great job.
It certainly wasn't a detriment here for Renuet, no doubt about it.
He feels comfortable.
He's been spot on tonight, and he's got his 8th strikeout, a swing and a miss for Wardell. And no runs, 1 hit. Nobody left on the double play. We're through 5 complete. 3-0 Kingman again. The 5th inning was brought to you by Realty Connections here in Newton, connecting people with places. Call 316-283-6607 for your South Central Kansas real estate needs. We'll take a quick break and back for the 6th inning here of Sluggin Rebels baseball. Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Kingman. It's Marcelo Aguirre to lead off for the Islanders, and it'll be Nolan friend Jesus Cruz. Zach Gillig starts off with a breaking pitch outside, ball 1. Gillig's pitch count 81 coming into the inning. 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. And misses inside for ball 2. His 3 runs given up all in the 5th inning, and they have come on a total of 5 hits. And a breaking pitch in there, strike 1. It's Gillig, as he has all evening long, working quickly. Tried again with the breaking pitch and missed inside for ball 3.
Every pitch has been breaking ball right here.
And then he went with the fastball.
There he goes, outside, yeah.
Down and away, but it got the swing and the miss to run the count full on Aguirre, who has flown to right and struck out, so officially 0 for 2 at this point. Oh, and then I think that was that the slider?
I don't know, I think more like a change maybe. I don't know. It's like I said, he has a wicked change. He doesn't throw it as much as he used to. That just froze him.
That was
That was fantastic.
Strikeout. Again, sponsored by Mark Fox, your local J.P. Wygand realtor focused on bringing you home. So now Nolan Friend, who has struck out and grounded the first. And a swing and a miss for strike one. And back to the breaking pitch for strike two.
Yeah, now he's mixing it up right now.
And then gave him a fastball about knee-high, fouled straight back by Nolan Friend. Again, just a couple of base runners for the Sluggin Rebels. It's been Easton Bryant in both his at-bats. As a grounder to second, Hinesley goes down to a knee and make sure to corral it, tosses the first, out number two. I used to, when I was playing infield, I would, at the end of the season, would have a hole in one of my knees because I always...
You went down like that?
I always went down to a knee. I was going to get my entire body ready just in case it was a bad hop. And, yeah, I would have that knee worn clear through.
Well, you do that at second base because you have the time.
As it looks like Cruz, yes, he's going to slice one into left center field on the first pitch he sees for his second single. And he is 2 for 3. His other single came in the fifth. He came around to score the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, I tell you, he's a pesky guy. I've seen that guy play for a couple of years, and think of many at-bats that he's gone against Gillig. Those two battle each other. It's been fun to watch.
And that'll be Macbeth. He's got a strikeout. He also had a single and a run scored in the fifth and really got fooled. The reaction and look on his face was priceless at that kind of half swing. Kind of a smile of disgust is what I would call it. And the toss over to first. Cruz, if you're wondering, 9 of 10 in stolen bases. So I think probably a good opportunity here with 2 outs to maybe try to start him. It's another breaking pitch, kind of golfed foul right side for strike 2. Gillig trying to bounce back here after allowing the 3 runs in the fifth. Trying to keep this at 3-0. And there goes Cruz. Good pitch to run on, down and away pitch, and it sails into center field. And I like that decision by Avila. Don't compound.
Look at this, look at this.
And they're going to try to send the runner home, and he gets by.
They out hustle. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You can't. What happened was he put his head down. Hinesley put the ball, when you put your head down, you're running the ball in, you always keep your eyes on the runner. And he never stopped. He just kept going, and that's a heads-up play right there.
As Cruz, and they didn't get it in quickly.
No, they did.
I initially, this breaking pitch is outside.
Well, everybody assumed he's going to stop at third, and that's what they were kind of jogging in. And like I said, that's what I'm saying about Cruz. He's a hustler.
Initially, I liked Avila not to try to throw it to third to risk a throw there, but then Cruz just put his head down and went home. And now Macbeth from an 0-2 to a 3-2 count. And that would have been charged as the first error of the ball game as well on the Rebels on that last play. And that one outside for ball 4. And that will be walk number 4 for Zach Gillig. And he's approaching the 100 pitch mark. So I'm not sure how many more pitches Zach might have in him tonight.
Well, I don't know. So I guess the thinking is this is it for him. I mean, so this is it. This is his last year. He's pitching right now, and he's going to start a new job. I mean, he's going on with life. He finished up his eligibility. So maybe he thinks, well, let's go ahead. I'll just go ahead and throw. I mean, that's what a lot of guys think when they're at this stage.
He very well may do that. As now it's Blake Russell. He's flown to right and has a sacrifice bunt. Now fouls it back. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. That sacrifice bunt was critical. He put it down in the 5th inning. They got Cruz and Macbeth in the scoring position, and they scored on a Wallachek single.
Well, good stop there, Wardell. Good job.
And Wardell able to slide over on a breaking pitch down and away.
Well, that's the difference. You see his feet right there instead of trying to reach. When you try to reach, you're in trouble, So, good job. Good adjustment.
So the count is 2-1. And then that on the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Or nothing Kingman, top half of the 6th here in Newton. The breaking pitch, that'll be fouled out of play right side.
Yeah, that's what bothers me is some of my teams getting out hustled, because that's one thing I kind of thrive on, that we're going to out hustle everybody. But you got to make hustle a habit too.
Absolutely. Breaking pitch, and it'll stay outside for ball 3. So on the pitch, Macbeth can take off for second with a full count and 2 away. So Gillig kind of regrouping a little bit. And the payoff pitch fouled out of play right side. So the 4 runs have come on 6 hits. And so far the Islanders have a clean fielding game. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Rebels.
It's been basically good fielding right now.
Gillig a toss over to first. And Renuet's just been spectacular through 5 innings for the Islanders. Putting up the 2 hits, he struck out 8. Another payoff, jammed him. This one popped up. Lewis giving chase in foul ground and was unable to catch up with it.
Yeah, good effort. Good effort there.
Those are so tough. You're trying to look up, and you're not going to catch up with it, so you're expecting an over-the-shoulder type of a catch.
And I think if the wind was blowing like it was earlier, maybe it would have came right back to him. But
yeah, which it has.
It's kind of died out.
Died down a little bit. It's still blowing a little bit out, too.
But not much. Not like it was.
And there are some clouds off to our northwest, but not really looking threatening at this point. There's another payoff pitch. Fastball, a little pop-up. This out. Hinesley and off his glove. Right at the right field line and hustling on the play. Macbeth's going to end up at third base.
Yeah, that's tough because I know Zach's got to be, irritated himself, irritated everything, because now he's got to throw extra pitches too, and he's trying to get out of this jam.
So then trying to decide how you would score that one. I think officially it looks like they're going to go with a hit on that one. And I don't know if I would or not.
I think maybe more of an error because it did hit his glove.
So Jordan Helm now the batter. He has popped to second and flown to right, and a chance to add to the lead as Helm takes ball 1. So it'd be the second error of the inning committed by the Rebels. And that pitch hung a little bit, fouled straight back by Helm. And Gillig officially over 100 pitches at this point.
Well, I know he's done it before, but not much.
Fastball, kind of a lazy fly ball. Vila to his left out in center field will make the catch. And that does retire the side. A run will score in the inning on 1 hit, couple of errors, and 2 left. As we head into the home half of the 6th inning, and it's 4-0. The Kingman Islanders right now with the advantage. As again, tomorrow the series scheduled to conclude in Kingman. A day off followed by Wednesday at Hayesville. And next Thursday, Friday here against the Aviators, back-to-back days. And then a 3-game set starts with the Monarchs on Saturday the 22nd. So it's at Hutch on the 22nd and the 23rd. Then a Monday series finale here against the Monarchs, and then the final series of the season. And again, there probably going to be a rescheduled game or two in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's scheduled with the Twins starting on Wednesday, July 26th and July 27th, both games here, and the regular season finale at Derby on the 28th. Kind of gets you caught up on what the schedule is right now, weather permitting.
Yeah, that's the big word right there. Words right there.
I'll be surprised if that schedule holds exactly as it is scheduled right now. It's just not been.
It's of all the summers probably that have been a GM and even a coach here and other teams. This is the worst summer I think I've seen, just because all the rainouts, you just don't know. They don't know about playing. And like even tonight, it's like you called and said, hey,
yeah,
we didn't know.
They were given 90 to 100% chance of rain, and right now it just looking like, it may miss us tonight. And it's just the way it goes.
And that's what you and I were talking. I said, you can't call it. That's baseball.
Yeah. So it's going to be Chichi Purcell to lead off, and Renuet, fastball inside corner, strike one. As Purcell led off the third inning, he grounded out to second base. He's the starting shortstop tonight. And a slow roller to second. Cruz on a high hop, little sidearm toss to first for out number one. As, Jordy Lopez, I think I said Purcell at second. He's at short. Jordy Lopez back home now in the Dominican Republic to enjoy the rest of his summer before he comes back to.
He made quite an impact on. Like I said, the young man was very.
He did. I like his talent. The base hitting from the left side, a little bit more power when he bats from the right side. Great in the field.
It's going to be interesting to watch him in college, how he does. And I think he's going to be very successful.
It's Western Oklahoma, is
yes.
that correct? Okay, yeah. He Division II in Oklahoma. As Austin Burrows takes up and in ball one. He has 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And then Renuet hits the outside corner. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
So let's see Austin get going here. I know he can do it. Just use the field.
And he'll hit one high in the air to a left center field. Who's going to take it? It looks like it'll be the left fielder, Russell. He corrals it for out number 2. And it'll be back to the top of the lineup to Antonio Avila. Struck out in the first, flew to center in the third. And Jordy I've enjoyed all the post-game interviews with the players this year. Jordy was one of my favorite. He just was such a nice young man. Got to say some things to his folks there at the end of the interview as the breaking pitch misses low to Avila, ball 1.
Well, when he's talking to you about where he came from, and all that, just playing, back there in Dominican and everything. It's just really neat to hear that story.
Well, it's the second pitch high to Avila, ball 2. They grow up, and that's what the kids play baseball from the time they can basically walk. And, I asked him if he saw scouts down there. He said there's scouts at every game.
Yeah. There's so many good players down there that just unbelievable.
When Dayton Moore took over as the GM for the Royals, I got to hear him talk a couple of times there at Kauffman Stadium. And you know how many scouts when he took over that the Royals had in Latin America? As Avila will take a 4-pitch walk. They had 0.
Jeez.
They had nobody at the time he took over scouting in Latin America. Probably the richest spot in the world for baseball talent, and the Royals had nobody down. You wonder why they were so bad in the 90s. And that was the main reason. That was weird. Renuet, a 4-pitch walk. He hadn't walked anybody all night. And he walks Avila on 4 straight. Get Hinesley a chance here in the 6th. And then a delay steal, nobody covering, and now that throw is going to go into center field with Avila, the stolen base.
He makes things happen. That's one thing I do like about him. He does that very well.
And then that breaks up the perfect fielding game for the Islanders as well, as you'll get your first error on the throw.
No, Vila, I like a lot of things about it, but I just like that, right there, the instinct to do that.
And Hinesley with a 1-0 count. Any kind of a base hit would get the Rebels on the board. Just needing something positive to happen.
Scott, I was fortunate to be the head coach of Team USA twice down in Aruba and years ago, and it was all the talent down. That's because, like you said, that's all they do. Down there they play, and kids could be 5 years old, 6 years old, know 4 different languages.
Ooh, and Hinesley really fooled on the breaking pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Of course, probably today's Mr. Royal, that's where Salvi's from, is the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
It's amazing, that small little island, how much talent. It's just such great talent. And then Hinesley looked like maybe a hard slider on the outside corner. Strikeout number 9 for Renuet. And that'll end the 6th inning. No runs, no hits in air, and 1 left. So we're going to head on to the 7th. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We're going to have a pitching change coming up for the Rebels. So we'll take a break and back with the new pitcher, 4-0 Kingman, heading to the 7th on Sluggin Rebels Baseball. Our new pitcher as we start the top of the 7th for the Rebels will be Mason Lee on in relief of Zach Gillig. Lee, 11th appearance, 18 innings pitched, just giving up 6 earned runs. He's walked just 2 while striking out 22. He pitched really well the other night here at home against the Batcats. Went 4 2/3, gave up just a couple of runs on 5 hits, struck out 7.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Only 2 walks. I mean, that's.
Well, you got to love that.
I love that.
So it's the top of the lineup, and Ben Wallachek will lead off. Yes, there's a breaking pitch outside, ball 1. Wallachek 1 for 3, but it was a big one. In the 5th inning, he had a 2-run single and a run scored that got the Islanders on the board first. Time Lee misses down, 2 balls, no strikes. So Wallachek, Gavin Roy, Ray Vanderwall coming up for Kingman. Lined, a little soft liner, more off the end of the bat. Hinesley to first to get a hustling Wallachek out by full stride. For out number 1, it'll bring up Gavin Roy, who has yet to be retired. He singled in the 1st, walked in the 4th inning, and then had a RBI triple in the 5th. He got picked off in both the 1st and 4th innings by Zach Gillig. Takes a breaking pitch, strike 1.
See if we can keep him off the bases. That's the key. Gillig had to use his finesse, quick pickoff.
And then came back with a good fastball, a swing and a miss, strike 2. Every team has got that guy that just seems to find a way to get on base, and whether he gets hit by a pitch, he gets an extra base hit, or he walks, and just seems to, it kind of feels like that's Gavin Roy for this team. as that's popped up into right center field, misjudged, and it's going to fall in between Avila and Levi Martin.
It must have been the tough sky right there.
Yeah, the time of evening, you know, our screen's a little lighter than it is out there, and
he gets a base hit out of pop-up. That's the whole thing about it.
It should have been out
double.
number 2, but it'll go down as a double. As it sure looked like Martin just lost it for a little while and then couldn't recover once he picked it up again.
I believe it was running hard over there getting there, but that's where you communicate.
And it's that time with the overcast sky. It's a tough time sometimes to pick it up. As Vanderwall takes outside ball 1.
So I'm always telling my guys, and you'll see my team this spring, they better run hard out of the box, especially like that, because you never know, man. You can be on second or third.
And the 1-0 from Lee. Fastball inside corner, strike 1. Well, again, we go back, obviously, my favorite team, the Royals. What they did so well those 2 years they went to the series, they put the ball in play.
Yep.
And good things happen more often than not, and they hustled everything out. And a line drive to center field. Avila will have to let it bounce in front of him. He'll come into second. That'll be an RBI single for Ray Vanderwall, who goes now 1 for 2. He's walked twice before that single. And that'll make it a 5-0 lead for the Islanders.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough. You know, it should have been 2 outs, and that would have been a single. You know, 2 or something like that. But tough sky it's tough. I mean, I've been out there. I've played it before, right? You just can't see it.
Yeah.
You know.
Hit number 8 for the Islanders. And it'll bring up Marcelo Aguirre. And first pitch swinging, pops it up shallow right field. This could be trouble, and that's going to fall in.
Wow.
And holding up, but still able to hustle his way down to second is Vanderwall.
It's 11 hits, actually.
Well, I think error one, we scored an error, and I'm going to look back through.
Yeah, look through that, because
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 9 hits.
You got 9?
So I'm not sure.
See, that's what Mark had over there, and you should never wrong. But okay.
So it's first and a second, still just 1 down. 3 straight hits for the Islanders, and now it's Nolan Friend as he takes the breaking pitch, low and away, ball 1. Friend has struck out, grounded to first, and grounded to second. As Lee in some trouble, has allowed a run. Had some bad luck in the inning as he misses low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Jesus Cruz swinging the bat well tonight. He's in the on-deck circle. And there a changeup, and that misses well outside for ball 3. And it's 3-0. And Lee certainly not wanting to load the bases for Cruz.
No, especially a guy like him with only 2 walks all season. You know, he pounds that zone.
And right at the knees gets the strike. And strike 1, it's 3-1. Friend taking all the way.
You see a double play, get out of this.
And a good fastball again, fouled straight back. They count full on Nolan Friend. And Lee out of Campbellsville University in Bradenburg, Kentucky. And got the fastball by him. He needed a strikeout, and he got one. That'll be his first and the second out of the inning. Campbellsville, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, NAIA school. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
And his pitching coach used to be coach here. He coached with me with the Rebels.
Okay.
And then he became head coach when I went to GM, and then he went to Northwestern Oklahoma. Now he's pitch coach at Campbellsville.
Okay. So that'll bring up Jesus Cruz, 2 for 3 on the evening, a pair of singles. And Lee misses outside ball 1. He's also stolen a base and scored twice. 2 outs and runners at first and second. Boy, and he turns on one, hits it high in the air to left. Martin is there for out number 3. As the Islanders add a run, they've now scored in 3 straight innings. They get it on 3 hits and strand 2 runners. So it's a 5-0 Islander lead heading in to the 7th inning stretch here in Newton on what's turned out to be, they don't have a very big crowd tonight. I think a lot of them stayed away due to the forecast tonight.
I think so too. That's what I heard.
And it's turned out to be a fairly pleasant evening out there for baseball.
I went down there to help Connie downstairs down there in the concessions, and it's nice out. I mean, it's not. I mean, we got the window open right here, and usually Scott and I we'd be sweating it up here, but it's nice.
The other night we were sure dying in here. I don't know how many people went over to just confirm the air conditioner was on and working the other night, because it was that was a brutal day with a heat index. As more bad news for the Rebels, Renuette's going to stay on the mound and start the home half of the 7th with Sue Hache, Levi Martin, and Easton Bryant due up.
You know, one thing I want to talk about is like summer ball. I had a coach tell me back when I was young that you find out like the true players how, especially guys, they all want to play pro ball, but summer ball is what it's about because you're playing every day almost. You're playing in the heat. You're playing because you got to really want to play. And in college you might play a midweek game, then you play your weekend doubleheader. But summer ball, you're playing every day, and you're playing with wood bats. So you really find out a lot how serious ball players I felt can be. And I know it helped me personally, and I know it's helped a lot of players. But I see where it's kind of dying down a little for some reason. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know coaches shut down the pitchers now, and I don't know. I wanted to play all the time.
Yes, sometimes it seems like the kids are wanting to go back home early to just kind of take some downtime before, Of course, in college, you practice. Very limited fall schedule for most schools, but you do practice when school begins, so they kind of value that downtime a little bit. As we'll see if Sue Mache can get things started. He's grounded to first and struck out so far against Renuette, who misses, I think, up for ball 1.
Well, and I like to see, like I said, you got host families, you got cities, little towns, everything. They host, they open arms, getting players in there, and they become part of the community.
And fastball out and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. I mean, you look at some of the teams, the Wellington Heat have been around for quite a while. The Monarchs haven't been around as long, but boy, I tell you, they have gotten it right. They have some great crowds in Hutch. And Sache is swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
Well, it's on to Chris Pate. Chris Pate's the ex-GM before me, and he played for me actually, Fringe, years ago. And he made this is something that you did not know. The Newton Rebels are the 3rd oldest summer team in Kansas.
Wow. That was a
continuous, and I didn't know that. He told me that. I said, "You're kidding me." So that's pretty interesting.
It was down and in and a swing and a miss by Hache. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, I think it's just like he struck out last time. That fastball tailed off the end of the plate, and
he's got to go with that pitch right there. He's not making that adjustment now with 2 outs. Get up there and it's be ready to take it the other way.
So I've got that as strikeout number 10 for Renuette. And now it'll bring up Levi Martin, who has popped the second and struck out. You think about, of course, the BJs probably, I would speculate if I was guessing, would be the oldest continuous, and then you got the A's have been around quite a while in Dodge City.
I don't know about the Hayes. Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering about because continuous, because El Dorado hasn't. It
shocked me when they did a couple seasons ago decided they weren't going to have a team anymore, as they'd been at one time were a pretty regular in the NBC. Martin is swinging a miss and is down in the count 0-2.
We played the Midwest Regional. I had a team this between Friends and Kansas Wesleyan. I was coaching, and we runner-up in the Midwest Regional.
Martin, a grounder to short, scooped up by Roy over to first. And out number 2.
And I didn't really feel that bad because they ended up winning the whole NBC World Series.
Yeah.
They were that good, and we lost like 8-4 or something. I mean, we competed, but we got a berth in the NBC World Series, but they were good.
And now Easton Bryant, who has singled in both the 2nd and 5th innings, he's got both of the hits. He had a stolen base, which I wanted to go back and mention. That is sponsored this season by Pate and Paul, attorneys at law, working for you.
You know what our reward was for making the NBC World Series? First round against the All-Stars, the Major League All-Stars, Nate Robertson and those guys. and we beat them. We actually beat them. So that was kind of cool, you know.
So Bryant, again, that tailing away fastball took it for strike 1. Oh, and then a really nasty breaking pitch, a swing and a miss, and Easton Bryant down in the count, 2 strikes. And the Rebels in danger for the 4th time in the game, and they do go 1-2-3, as that will be strikeout number 11.
Yeah, this young man's very impressive on the mound for the Islanders.
So after 7 complete, 5-0 Kingman, Mason Lee will return to the mound, as our 8th inning coming up is going to be sponsored by Charleston Insurance Company Incorporated. You can visit them at www.charlestoninsurance.com for your home, auto, and other insurance needs. And like you said, the summer leagues, they're almost set up like almost a minor league or major league schedule, where you've got a few more off days than those schedules, but you're playing 5, sometimes 6, and when you get rescheduled, 7 days a week.
But I have some friends that are scouts, and they've told me, it's like Carv, they said, we really like summer ball because it makes their job easier, especially the wood bats.
Yeah.
You know, it's instead of sending them metal, how can this guy translate to hitting wood? Well, you know, the thing is, and then you find out the guys who really want to play, because if you really are a serious ball player, you're going to play summer baseball. And it just and you want to, and like right now you might struggle, whatever, but you still hang in there and you play the whole summer because you might be getting better. You start getting better, you turn around. It was all about Easton. He's turning it around. He's actually done pretty well lately.
So Brendan Macbeth, the DH, will lead off. So it's Macbeth, Blake Russell, Jordan Helm coming up. Breaking pitch stays down, ball 1. Macbeth has struck out, singled, and walked. So 1 for 2 with 1 run scored. Fastball grounder in the hole, backhanded by Purcell. Long throw and unable to dig it was Lewis. Going to try to head for second and will get in there on what would be, it looks like, the 3rd error of the ball game committed by the Rebels. I think, he's just going to bring some gear back to his coach.
But see right there, he hasn't played a lot, Chi-Chi, on this infield. And you've got anything on the ground, you got to start coming in.
You got to charge it.
Charge it on this field because it's not like anything else. They just grab it. That grass will just slow it down.
That's what Jurdy out there was so good at. He would attack that baseball.
But he had to learn that. He had to learn that here. He told me that.
So another runner in scoring position to start off the inning. Now it'll be Blake Russell. Checks his swing and will take a strike. Russell has flown to right. He's got a sac bunt. He's also reached on an error. Lee, the second pitcher. Is that one a swing and a miss? 0-2. Gillig went 6, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 4 tonight on the hill for the Rebels. And Renuet's gone 7 so far for Kingman. Fastball out and away from Russell. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, Jordan Helm, and then the top of the lineup, Ben Wallachek here in the 8th. 1-2. Chopper, and barehanded by Mason Lee. And over to first for the out, and had plenty of time. Once he barehanded it, looked to make sure that Macbeth wasn't going to advance. And makes a nice play. Most coaches don't like their pitchers to barehand it, especially with their pitching hand.
And that was, again,
it wasn't sharply hit.
Yeah, it wasn't sharply in that grass. That definitely slowed it down.
So runner at second with one down for Jordan Helm. Take high ball one. Helm has popped out to second and flown out to both center field and right field. And the breaking pitch stays high and the count goes to 2-0. Just a short lead out at second for the DH Macbeth. Pop up in foul territory. Lewis giving chase, and again, just
out of reach.
Couldn't quite get to it. And now Helm has a 2-1 count. And then again, Ben Wallachek will bat next for the Kingman Islanders, who came in 6-20 in the league, 9-20 overall. In the dirt. He's fallen behind Jordan Helm 3-1.
So we've seen him do this before. Battle back.
I think we actually do have somebody up and throwing for Kingman in the bullpen. Now Lee's 3-1. Good pitch, but apparently either inside or down a little bit.
Rare walk.
And that is a very rare walk.
But it's not a bad walk, because right now you got a double play situation. If a ground ball, get them out of there, put the runner on there. I don't know if that's what Lee was thinking about. But
Probably not, since it's the leadoff man coming up in Wallachek.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But you put the runner on, get a ground ball, get out of the inning.
And Wallachek 1 for 4. Again, it was a big 2-run single and a run scored in the fifth for Wallachek. Now he hits one right at Avila. He's got it for out number 2. So first pitch swinging for Wallachek.
Avila does a good job out there patrolling that outfield.
So 2 down for Gavin Roy. And 3 at-bats. I tell you what, Carv, he is the home run short of the cycle. He's walked, singled, doubled, and tripled tonight. And he's got a run batted in and a run scored. And a good hard breaking pitch, strike 1. Trying to remember if I have called. I don't know if I have called a game where somebody went for the cycle,
really?
and I'd like to keep it that way right now with Roy at the plate.
Fortunately, I've been on both sides of it in college. Had somebody, one of my guys have done it, and then I've also had somebody do it
against you. Yeah, 1-1 the count, because usually the triple is the hardest one, and he got that out of the way in the fifth. And hits one high and deep to left center field, but plenty of room. Avila just short of the warning track. He must have heard me talking and thought, well, I'll go for it anyhow, but that will retire the side. You got no runs, no hits in air, and 2 left. And we're heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And right now, 5-0 Kingman. And the Rebels are going to be sending up Tate Lewis, Drew Wardell, Chi Purcell. He talked about the scheduling of the summer, how often the teams play. When you look at, kind of what you're going to be going into at the NAIA level, I'd say on average it's probably about 4 games a week, it seems like, in the schedule. You play in the KCAC they play that schedule to where you don't have enough time to get in weekend series with every school, so you start playing single games like on Tuesdays. So you play Tuesday, sometimes a
Saturday, Sunday,
maybe a non-con, but then you play either a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, a 3-game set. So you play about 4, maybe 5 times a week. You're always shooting for, you're trying to get 50 games in if you can. Sometimes, baseball in Kansas in February is almost ridiculous. I know most everybody tries to go south down in the Texas or Oklahoma for a couple 3 series early on if you can.
But you got to remember people don't know this. Gene Stevenson, when he started Wichita State program, they had a 90-game schedule. 90 games they had, this on the schedule. Of course, I think they played 77, but back then it was unlimited. So, I mean, it was pretty crazy. So it's like, man, that'd be great to go to school because you get to play all the time. Get to play if you love baseball. And but anyway, things change, and then NCAA got in there and put it down to 56, and then all of a sudden it's down to 50.
Is that right? Yeah, let me get over, as we have a pitching change, let me get over to the Islanders, see if we've got it.
Want to take a break right now, or?
We're trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Coach is up here.
Let's talk to Coach here. So we'll take a little break here and be back.
We're in the home half of the 8th. Coach up here is getting us some defensive changes. It's Logan, looks like Irway over at first. And Landon Helms at second. And on the mound is Cato Castellanos making his debut. He induced a ground ball out to Tate Lewis to start the inning to shortstop. And now has a 1-strike count on Drew Wardell. And then fooled him and looked like maybe a changeup.
It's one thing, Cloud County product going to Pitt State. We just found out. I mean, and the starting pitcher for him today goes to Cloud County. So Cloud County has pretty good pitching staff, it seems like.
And then that looked like maybe a hard slider. He induces a swing and a miss, and he's got the strikeout. And quickly 2 outs here as we start the home half of the 8th inning. And now it'll be Chichi Purcell. He's grounded out to second twice this evening. Again, the 2 hits for the Rebels as a check swing strike called on Purcell have come for Easton Bryant this evening. The only other base runner was Antonio Avila on a base on balls. And it looks like Purcell may have grounded out to second 3 times and has. As that was the new second baseman Landon Helm, a toss over to first. And that was another quick 1-2-3 inning. Again, the 8th inning sponsored all season long by Charleston Insurance Company Incorporated. You can visit www.charlestoninsurance.com for your home, auto, and other insurance needs. So we're heading on to the 9th inning, and the Rebels are down 5-0. And that was a back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. As the final numbers for Scott Renuet, he went 7, no runs on 2 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 11. He was
impressive, man.
He was dialed in.
Yeah, no, and that's, like I said, that's that's kind of what, our pitching, what I need up down there in Southwestern, that kind of pitching, because that's going to help us and keeps you in every ball game. He's around the zone. He's around the zone. He's mixing it up. Light on his fastball, but he also had his off speed going.
It was crazy because he was so on, and then all of a sudden it's a 4-pitch walk to Antonio Avila in the 6th. It was with 2 outs already, so he nearly went, through 6 straight without the walk, and then it just missed with 4 straight. It was bizarre to watch that happen.
And that happens. It just happens. It's boom.
So we'll see Ray Vanderwall, and I believe Coach wrote it in, and I'm having trouble. Logan Irway, okay, I thought I had it right, is now at first base, and then it'll be Nolan Friend to face Mason Lee. Again, all of our pitching changes, when we've only had 1 tonight, are sponsored by Pizza Hut of Newton. No one out pizzas the Hut. So Vanderwall, he has walked twice, struck out, and has an RBI single. We'll start things off here in the 9th. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Small crowd, but I think it was due to what looked like impending weather, as this one kind of off the end of the bat. Shallow fly ball and a nice catch. Easton Bryant coming in to make the play for out number 1. And great play in the field there, sponsored by Carl Hodges and family, celebrating 23 years of Rebels baseball tradition. As Bryant judged that very well. When I first heard the contact, I thought it was better hit than that.
Kind of had a little top spin coming down too, but he got it. He got there.
And now Logan Irway will bat. He's the new first baseman. And he'll take a breaking pitch. And it looked like in there for a called strike 1. See if we have any numbers on Mr. Irway. And right now, he chops one foul. It'll be strike 2. Irway is 2 for 23. However, one of his 2 hits is a home run. And he's driven in 3 on the season. Mason Lee, the second pitcher used. As he misses outside, it's 1-2. It was just the opposite the other evening here in Newton, as you saw Mason Lee get the start, and then Zach Gillig came in. Now we ended up using 5 pitchers, or saw 5 pitchers that night, and unless things go awry here for Lee in the 9th, I think we're just going to see 2 tonight.
And, Lee, let's see, Lee at Campbellsville, you're talking about Campbellsville, he's more of a relief guy. So he's kind of on pitch count when he started.
Yeah, we figured that now, and comes in with a beautiful breaking pitch for the strikeout, sponsored by Mark Fox, your local J.P. Wygand realtor, focused on bringing you home, as he froze Irway for out number 2. And now it will be Nolan Friend, who is 0 for 4 on the ball game in search of his first hit. Fastball stays up and in for ball 1. Home half of the 9th. It's 9-1 and 2 hitters due up for the Rebels. That one is fouled out of play, right side. And it's 1-1.
Can't believe how nice it is. Just looking around it.
I know it.
We thought we'd be rained out by now.
We were hoping to get 5 innings in. And a breaking pitch called strike 2. And right now, we are not even 2 hours in, and if a good pitch here, we could be headed to the bottom of the 9th. It might be a season record, and it is a good pitch, a fastball, swing and a miss, and Lee gets his 3rd strikeout of the ball game and sets down the Islanders 1-2-3. And we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 9th. 5-0 Islanders. This is Sluggin Rebels Baseball. Bottom half of the 9th inning. And it is a 5-0 Islander lead, so last chance for the Sluggin Rebels. Austin Burrows, Antonio Avila, Justice Hinesley due up for the Rebels. Burrows has struck out and flown to left field. Second inning of work coming up for Cato Castellanos. And that one foul. Burrows, he hops out of there. You can tell he got it right off his own foot. That will be strike one. Again, Castellanos told this is his first appearance of the season. Kind of a mid-season edition here for the Islanders. So miss upstairs with the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then Newton looking for their 3rd hit of the game. Haven't had a base runner since the 6th inning. That one is low, ball 2. It was the middle innings, 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th for the Islanders, as Burrows will deliver that 3rd hit of the ball game. He'll single into left field. Leadoff single for the Rebels. And again, our base hits tonight, sponsored by Armor Coatings of Wichita Incorporated. We have you covered. Now Antonio Avila 0 for 2. He walked and stole a base in the 6th. The first pitch swinging, foul tipped and caught by the catcher Vanderwall, strike 1. Avila has been aggressive in his at-bats tonight, swinging early. As he'll lay off the up and in fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Then a breaking pitch down and away. So Avila being patient here, and he has a 2-1 count. Now he laces one into left field for a base hit. Got some nice top spin on that. And Burrows will stop at second. The Rebels with back-to-back singles, trying to make some noise here in the 9th. Another Armor Coatings of Wichita base hit for the Rebels. And that'll be Justice Hinesley. Pair of strikeouts, and he's flown to left, so Hinesley right now 0 for 3. Fastball gets the call right on the outside corner for strike 1. Certainly a situation here, if it was a closer game earlier in the ball game, would be a perfect sacrifice spot, but right now you can't afford the outs, trailing 5-0. You've got to try to string together several base hits. Looked like maybe a slider there stayed up. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then went to another breaking pitch. Hinesley will take it for strike 2. And it's 1-2. Castellanos, and went right back to it, and looked like a slider gets the call on the outside corner for the strikeout and out number 1. And Castellanos has his second strikeout. Now to be Suhiche. And Na Ting Fang is going to hit for Hiche. Na Ting Fang It's the pinch hitter.
Team Fang, the pitch hitter for the Rebels.
First pitch fouls it back for strike one. We saw Ting Fang the other evening get the start, coming in as a pinch hitter tonight. So far, 1 for 4 at the plate. This one fouled out of play. Now Ting Fang down in the count, 0-2. Levi Martin due up next and will bat next. First and second, one down, bottom of the ninth. And it's a 5-0 Islander lead. As now Ting Fang takes low. Another breaking pitch well out into the left-handed batter's box for ball 2. And this could be 2, grounded to short. Second for 1, over to first, and it will be a 6-4-3 double play. And that does end the ball game. So the Rebels threaten. They got back-to-back singles to start the inning, but they end up rounding into the double play. And your final score tonight, the Kingman Islanders defeat the Newton Rebels 5-0. And our Bethel College player of the game tonight is going to be Easton Bryant. He'll be with us here after a short break. Again, thank you to Bethel College, where you graduate 100% life and work ready. Roll on, Threshers. So we'll take a quick break and be back with our Sonic player, or our Sonic gift card, and our Bethel College player of the game, Easton Bryant, as the Islanders win it 5-0. And this is Sluggin Rebels baseball. Welcome back to our Rebels post-game report. 5-0 Islanders tonight. Again, our Bethel College player of the game tonight, Easton Bryant. Bryant at the plate this evening, 2 for 3 with half of the hits. 2 of the 4 were the Rebels, and a pair of singles. So congratulations on the night at the plate. I'm sure you'd like to be up here with a W, but still a good night at the plate for you.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Nice.
So We've talked about you some, as we do everybody. It seems like as the season's gone on, you're seeing better and better pitches, and it seems like you're starting to get into a groove. Did it kind of feel like that tonight? Did you feel like you were seeing the ball well as the game began tonight?
Yeah, Yeah, I felt I've always seen it good. I just needed to fix some mechanical stuff. But
What have you been working on a little bit to get on base a little bit more?
Mostly my mental stuff and making sure I swing at the right pitches and not chase out of the zone, and a bunch of other stuff. But
yeah, a lot going on. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Gilbert, Arizona, currently at Chandler Gilbert Community College. Tell us about growing up in Gilbert.
I actually didn't grow up in Gilbert.
Okay.
I moved there in 8th grade.
Okay.
So I went to high school there, but before that I grew up in a small town called Camp Verde. But it was fun. Played a lot of baseball.
Now, tell me, what part of Arizona is Gilbert in? Is it in the part that gets pretty darn hot in the summer? Or
yes.
Is
it gets, it's like the whole Phoenix area now, but it's about 120 at times.
What was it like playing baseball in the summer?
Honestly, I'd take it over the humidity. I don't like the humidity here is a lot worse. I'd rather have 120 and no humidity.
We joke around here about that in Phoenix. Well, that's that dry heat. To try to make light. I mean, it's still 120 degrees, but I get it. I'm not a fan of the humidity. So when you came out to Newton for the summer from Chandler Gilbert, what did your coach? I'm sure you talked to your coach before you came out. What did he kind of specifically say? Hey, Easton, I want you to work on this and this summer before you come back for the fall.
Yeah, he said keep continuing to gain weight, put on muscle, get some more speed, and get some more reps outfield and left field specifically.
Okay.
Because just Tate Lewis, who's on my team as well, he was the DH last year. And we have another player, Dante Turgeon, who plays first base. So it was kind of just pick and choose each day who was going to play. So with me going to left field, then we can have all three of us in the lineup at each game, which will help.
Okay. And as far as the putting on muscle, have you found a good place here to work out in Newton to pump a little iron to gain a little bit of weight?
Yeah, the YMCA. I go there 5 times a week, so I like it. It's a good place to go.
Excellent. Well, when you got here, we always talk to all the guys about team chemistry. It's hard. You bring guys from all over the country usually, get together for a week, 2 weeks at most, and then all of a sudden you're playing 5, 6, 7 days a week. What's that been like trying to kind of build chemistry with these guys?
It wasn't too bad. Baseball players, I feel like they can build chemistry pretty quick, especially now that we're in college. You kind of you're from all over in your college team, and you just go with it, I guess.
So quite a bit of the summer left here with the Rebels. Where do you feel like the team's at right now for kind of the stretch run here in July?
Well, we've had a lot of guys leave, pitchers specifically, so pitching will be tough to overcome. We've lost a lot of starters, but I think we'll be okay.
And then you finish up the series and go play the Islanders tomorrow night. What's the key to getting them tomorrow night?
Probably just finding some more extra base hits, and then capitalizing when runners are in scoring position. Because when we were there last night, we had left a lot of runners on base. So if we can get them in, it'll help keep the pressure on them. All
right, Easton. Well, we'll give you I got a $10 gift card to Sonic for our players of the game this year. So that'll help take the edge off this heat a little bit with some ice cream or something. So
thank you.
Enjoy that, and hopefully we'll get to do this again this summer, and hopefully after a W.
Yeah, I hope so.
We sure appreciate it, Easton.
Thank you. For having me.
Easton Bryan, again, he is our Bethel College player of the game this evening as the Rebels fall to the Islanders 5-0. We'll take just a quick look at some of our final numbers as the Islanders got their 5 runs on 9 hits this evening. They committed 1 error and left 7 on. Scott Renuet, he went the first 7. He was great. No runs, 2 hits. He struck out 11. Cato Castellanos, he struck out a pair in 2 innings pitched, and it gave up a pair of hits. The Rebels, no runs on 4 hits. They committed 3 errors, left 1 on, and stranded just 3 runners this evening. Zach Gillig went the first 6, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. Mason Lee went the final 3, and he gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Try to check the scoreboard one final time. Let's see if we can get some updates here. Give me just a moment. Hutch 5 and Hayesville 4. Let's see, we'll go in and see if that has changed at all. That is in the top of the 5th right now. That is a Hutch lead by 1, 5-4 over the Aviators. The Backcats an 8-4 deficit in Derby right now. They are in the top of the 6th, and no live cast coming up. The Cannons are at Wellsville tonight, and nothing showing up for that ball game. So again, the Rebels fall to 10-17. They're 8-17 in the conference. Kingman now 10-20 and 7-20 in conference action. Again, your upcoming schedule. This series concludes in Kingman tomorrow night, day off on Tuesday, and at Hayesville on Wednesday. And then our next home broadcast will be Thursday and Friday. It'll be the Newton Rebels and the Hayesville Aviators here on, again, next Thursday and Friday, the 20th and 21st, both games starting at 7 o'clock. And we'll keep you up to date on social media. And we have a makeup with the Batcats and the Cannons yet to get scheduled, if anything we find out on that. So again, it's a 5-0 victory tonight for the Islanders. Again, we would like to take a minute to thank our 2023 season partners and sponsors. Without their support, college baseball would not be here in Newton, Kansas. The Colonel Tim Marler family, Pizza Hut of Newton, Midway Motors, Bethel College, the John Oldham family, Armor Coatings of Wichita Incorporated, Sand Creek Summer Days Festival, Central National Bank, the Carl Hodges family, Ray Roofing, Charleston Insurance Company, Realty Connections, Mark Fox, your local JP Wygand Realtor, CRM Lawn Care, Bumper to Bumper of Newton, Curtis C's Diner, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, Papa John's Pizza, The Bread Basket, Domino's Pizza, Norm's Coffee Bar, Pate and Paw Attorneys at Law, the Creation Station of Newton, and Size Hoof and Horn Supper Club. Again, it's not too late to join our 2023 sponsorship team. Please see our GM, Mark Carvalho, or email newtonrebelsbb@yahoo.com for more information. And again, such a huge thank you to all the host families here in Newton and Wichita. They opened up their hearts and homes to all these college baseball players for the summer. On behalf of our entire Sluggin Rebel staff, thank you for watching tonight's game and invite you back on Thursday, July 20th, as the Sluggin Rebels will take on the Hayesville Aviators with game time set for 7 p.m. Thank you and good night from Newton. This is Scott Hogan. God bless. We'll see you on Thursday.